Wrestling fans, are you ready?
So first off this week we're going to talk about Over the Top Wrestling, who are back at the Tivoli Theatre, Dublin on July 1st for Born to be Wasted. To tell us more about it now, joining me on the line from Over the Top Wrestling, Gerry Soul. Gerry, thanks for joining us once again here on the Kickouts.
Always a pleasure, Dave.
Now, first off, so there's a lot of very interesting matches, first of all, but I have to start with this Bobby George Jr. guy. Now, it looks like he has this guy who apparently now has had a darts world championship history, is making a name for himself in pro wrestling. What do you know about him yourself, Gerry?
Well, I don't think I've ever seen somebody transfer from darts to wrestling, but if anyone has seen Bobby's promo, you'll see that he's ready and able, and he's very much willing to go, and he wants to come to OTT and prove that he can go. Now, not as much. Nobody knows that much about his in-ring style because he's a darts player. But we're going to have to wait and see. I have to say, I don't think I've been as excited for somebody coming over to OTT than I am for Bobby George coming over.
Yeah.
It's so unique. It's so different. And I hope he does very well, but it's definitely an interesting situation. So where we go from here, or who he's going to be facing, I don't know, but it's definitely going to be an interesting one. So stay tuned on that one.
Being a darts player himself, I can only imagine what his entrance is going to be like. That's for sure.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't start throwing darts at people. That's the main thing.
Katie Harvey will be defending her OTT women's title against Zia Brookside, who I heard is a former Pro Wrestling Ulster champion, is the daughter of Robbie Brookside.
That's right, yeah. The thing about Katie is, she wants to wrestle every time. She's one of those fighting champions, and she only wants the best. So OTT have said, okay, well, let's get you the best, and we're going to throw the best at you each and every month. So Miss Brookside is definitely going to be a challenge for her. I'm not too sure whether they faced each other before, but she's definitely one of the better up-and-comers, is Miss Brookside. So we'll see if Katie can handle this. But as always, if she does, she's going to have that shadow of Martina Lewin behind her.
I think so, yeah.
Believe me, if she gets through this one, she's eventually going to have to go one-on-one with Martina. It's only a matter of time. But, she may not win this one, so we'll have to just wait and see. But it's definitely an interesting one. I always kind of look at it. I try and be objective, but, we'll see how this one goes. This could be really, really good.
Absolutely, definitely an interesting match. Now, speaking of interesting matches, we saw Pastor William Eaver last month against Justin Shape. This time, Justin Shape, along with Logan Bryce, have challenged Pastor William Eaver and a partner of his choosing for a tag team match. You talk about interesting matches, and you put Pastor William Eaver in. It's definitely going to be interesting. Yeah.
So to be going up against Justin Shape and Logan, it's going to be a tall order for William Eaver. But let's just wait and see who his tag team partner is. I'm just hoping that it's not himself that he's going to be tagging with, and I hope he's not going to be actually on his own. But whoever he chooses, I'm sure he's going to choose somebody that everyone is going to love, because OTT, we don't do it by halves. We only bring the best. And this is, once again, going to be one of those matches where I'm going to say worth the price of admission.
Awesome.
And when you look at this card, I always do worry that how do we best ourselves? How do we best last month? And again, we've done it again. And this match is just one of those reasons why OTT simply is the best.
Well, certainly look forward to that match, especially knowing who could Eva's partner be. Now, speaking of tag teams, one of the very entertaining new tag team in 2 Unlimited, who we saw for the first time last month as well, who made a very impressive debut against Extra Talented. This time they'll be back against the British duo of Charlie Sterling and Zack Gibson.
2 Unlimited, they more than proved themselves last month, and I think you'll agree with me there. They're absolutely brilliant, very entertaining. And I think the crowd really got behind them as well. So they're looking for fresh guys. They're looking for new tag teams. Charlie Sterling, to me now, he just seems to be getting the most hated people in wrestling to team with. You know, and now he's got Zack Gibson. and Zack Gibson, the last 2 times he was over, he wasn't really greeted very kindly by the OTT faithful, and I can't imagine it's going to be the same this month. So 2 Unlimited, as good as they are, they're going to have a hard time against. Charlie Sterling, I rate him as one of the best, if not the best in Europe. He is just an absolute class act, and he's going up against Zack Gibson, and the two of them teaming together is just going to be a force to be reckoned with on their own. So 2 Unlimited definitely have their hands full here.
Definitely an interesting tag team match for sure. Now, one of the more exciting matches obviously in this card is the return of British Strong Style. Once again, Trent Seven, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates will be taking on the team of Sammy Callahan, Donovan Dijak and Keith Lee, who I'm particularly looking forward to seeing.
Well, when it comes to what people want to see in OTT, there's a lot of guys that people want to see. But the names that always get thrown around are the guys from British Strong Style. So, everyone, and it doesn't matter what show it is, they want to be on that show. People want them on that show.
Yeah.
So to see the guys back, I'm a lover of all 3 of these guys. I've known them for a while now. I particularly love Trent Seven. I don't know what it is about him. I absolutely love Trent Seven. He just kind of exemplifies everything that's cool in wrestling. And the fact that these guys are some of the best in the world. They've been on working with very closely with WWE. They've been on Next. They've been on the UK tournament, and things are only going to get better for these guys. And they're always coming back to OTT because they know OTT is the best. So to bring these guys in, because there's 3 of them, it's very difficult to find a trio to go up against them. So I think OTT have more than proven that we get the best in, and you've got the Jack, Callahan and Lee. My God, Dave, just this match alone is worth the price of 10 admissions,
Absolutely.
20 admissions. This is going to be unbelievable. And all I keep saying to people is, if you don't have a ticket for this, then you're seriously going to miss out. If you do not go to this show, you are going to miss out on some of the best matches you're ever going to see. And this particular 6-man just proves it. It is going to be... the roof will be blown off the Tivoli Theatre, I guarantee it.
I know it. I know it too well. This definitely an exciting match. Another exciting match coming up. Damien Corvin from the Kings of the North will challenge Chris Brooks from CCK for the gold ring that was won by CCK and Ryan Smile back in January or February, I think it was. That's right. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. These guys, they're 2 of the best in Europe. Absolutely no doubt. I've been following Corvin for a lot of years. I remember when he was an up-and-comer and he was as skinny as the skinniest person and now he's an absolute tank. And he is part of one of the greatest tag teams that are around in Europe today. Couldn't agree with you more, yeah, absolutely.
So him and Chris Brooks, this is going to be a very competitive match, I'll put it that way. CCK, and they certainly do not want to lose that gold ring, because it gives them an opportunity at the tag team titles down the road. So they're not going to want to lose that. But if Corvin wins this belt, then he has an opportunity to then possibly go on and go for the OTT Heavyweight Championship. So, there's a lot on the line in this match. So, this could go either way. Chris Brooks, Damien Corvin, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I can all but guarantee that.
Absolutely. And speaking of matches now that may have title implications in the future, of course in the main event Ryan Smile will defend his No Limit Wrestling title against Mark Haskins, with huge implications going on to WrestleRama as well.
Yeah, well, it was announced during the week that whoever is champion going into WrestleRama will meet Marty Scurll. And I've said this many times, I believe Marty Scurll to be the best in the world. That is my personal opinion. I believe he's the best in the world. I
agree with you.
So for this match, it's not just about the title; it's about who goes on to face one of the best in the world with Marty Scurll. Now, last month, I think Ryan Smile showed his true colours with how he treated the Bro, as he's called. So, this match is certainly going to be interesting. Ryan Smile, he used to be one of the biggest fan favourites in OTT, but he seemed to just turn his back on everyone last month and just kind of basically give everyone like an FU. It was unreal what he did. Just a lack of respect to everyone at OTT last month. So it's going to be Smile versus Haskins, and Haskins, he's one of these guys that he can go in there, face off against anyone, and get the win. So Smile has a lot to do in this match if he wants to continue on to wrestle Rama as champion. So it's it's going to be one of those main events where you say that this could go either way, and are there going to be twists and turns in this? You're all but guaranteed to have twists and turns. So let's just see how this one pans out. This, from top to bottom, is one of the best shows we will ever see in Ireland. So I say, if you've got a ticket, get your ass down there, because it's going to be unreal.
As I said, it definitely adds all the makings for an awesome card. There's still limited tickets available on eventbrite.ie, right, for Born to Be Wasted? Yeah. Awesome stuff. So
yeah, very, 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 and I do mean it's very limited tickets. Get your tickets while you can. You've only got a week.
Absolutely.
And this will sell out, like every single month we sell out. This will sell out again, so don't be disappointed. Get your tickets now. You
heard it from Gerry. Over the Top Wrestling for Born to Be Wasted on July 1st in Tivoli Theatre. Limited tickets still available on eventbrite.ie. Get them now before they're not sold out soon. So Gerry, thanks again as always for joining us here on the Kick Out. All the best and more, and we'll hope to talk to you again soon.
Absolute pleasure, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you.